Did violence or sex bring about the end of the Neanderthals? A new study supports the theory that Neanderthals disappeared by interbreeding rather than fighting with Homo sapiens. The research, published in the journal Paleoanthropology, suggests that Neanderthals interbred with Homo sapiens and eventually there were not enough Neanderthals left to continue the species. Speaking to the BBC, Dr. Lucille Crete of the research team said, the long-accepted theory was that the two species competed for resources. However, the research conducted by Crete and Professor Chris Stringer of the Natural History Museum in London shows that it was interbreeding rather than interspecies conflict that depleted the Neanderthal gene pool. Professor Stringer says, "We believe that Neanderthals interbred with Homo sapiens until their extinction." Neanderthal DNA can be found in every living person today, including African individuals who are thought to have not encountered their Neanderthal ancestors. It is believed that Neanderthals and Homo sapiens diverged around 600,000 years ago and lived in different regions. At that time, Homo sapiens were in Africa while Neanderthals were in Europe and Asia. Dr. Crete says, the new findings show that Homo sapiens arrived in Europe 50 to 60,000 years earlier than previously thought. This means that they lived alongside Neanderthals for a very long time. How do we know that they interbred? While Neanderthal DNA has been found in the genomes of Homo sapiens, no trace of Homo sapiens DNA has been found in the genomes of Neanderthals. Dr. Crete says, the species mixed, but it seems to have been one-sided. We know that the two species interbred because about 2% of the genome of people living outside of Africa today is made up of Neanderthal DNA. The study by Dr. Crete and Professor Stringer is based on the DNA of 32 Neanderthals that have been fully sequenced to date. The researchers say that none of these samples contain any Homo sapiens DNA, adding, "We don't really know why this is the case. It could be due to one-sided interbreeding or it could be due to the limited data we have." In some cases of interspecies breeding, we see that only one species can get pregnant while the other can't. This may have been the case with Neanderthals and Homo sapiens as well. Dr. Crete hopes that future theories will be tested with the discovery of new Neanderthal DNA. Dr. Crete and Professor Stringer have another theory that some sexual encounters may have occurred without consent. Dr. Crete says, perhaps the males of one of these species were pursuing fertile females of the other group and forcing themselves upon them, citing examples of such behavior in chimpanzees. When there are not enough fertile females in a group of chimpanzees, the males of that group try to take over the fertile females of other groups. However, it is extremely difficult to find evidence of such events that may have occurred thousands of years ago. Scientists believe that the two species may have had difficulty communicating with each other. Dr. Crete says, it's likely that one species could not produce the sounds that the other species could. Their articulations were different. Their brains had also developed differently. Their body structures were also different. Neanderthals were stronger but had shorter arms and legs. Their brows were also more prominent. On the other hand, we are not sure how different male and female Neanderthals looked. The skeletons are usually broken and we have not found enough Neanderthal pelvises to compare the hips of the two sexes. However, new methods are allowing us to do things that we couldn't have imagined before. It's like a giant puzzle. Sometimes new findings change our way of thinking and raise new questions.